live across to the visuals of journalists protesting. It's the big breaking story. Media protests continuing. Protest over journalist molestation case in New Delhi. The journalists are en route to Home Minister Rajnath Singh's residence, demanding action against the Delhi police over their inaction on the molestation charges that have been made after videos emerged of journalists being assaulted and molested while they were trying to cover the JNU students' protests in the national capital. And journalists' protests continuing. Keep in mind, just a couple of days ago when journalists were protesting outside the Delhi police headquarters, and now they are taking the matter to Home Minister Rajnath Singh's doorstep. They are marching en route to Home Minister Rajnath Singh, and they will be lodging a complaint against him. For now, placards on display, journalists continuing to protest over the inaction, over the assault and molestation of journalists. The Delhi police is yet to take any action with regards to those videos that have emerged of Delhi police assaulting and molesting journalists who were trying to cover the JNU students' protests in the national capital. We're bringing to you live visuals of those protests. And these journalists are marching towards the Home Minister's residence.
रात को मीडिया के दबाव में आकर के सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर थमा दिया जाता है ना तो अब तक उस एसएचओ का जो महान जिम्मेदार उस वक्त जो मौजूद
Right, we have Payal Mehta joining us on the phone line. Payal, just a couple of days ago, journalists staged a huge protest outside the Delhi police headquarters, and now they're taking the matter to the Home Minister himself.
Well, of course, yes, just to update our viewers that at least a delegation of 4 to 5 senior journalists met up with Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh this morning. Rajnath Singh has assured them that all appropriate action will be taken. He's said to have communicated the same to the Delhi police. But what has really happened? There has been no action taken so far against the said SHO, against whom there was a complaint that he had molested one lady journalist. So clearly that remains the inaction that happens over here. So the journalist delegation has in fact just left from the press club, and they're en route to the Home Ministry, where they want to again, send their voices across to Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh. But the journalist delegation has been in fact stopped here, right outside Parliament, right outside Vijay Chowk, because one must really understand that during the Parliament section, there is Section 144 which is in place over here, so which means that the protests cannot be allowed to go beyond this particular point. But several hundred of journalists are there on the streets demanding for action against. It's against those people who basically have been entrusted with protecting people. They are the ones who have turned out to be the ones who have attacked journalists, have molested journalists. So these are the voices that are coming in thick and fast. I'm going to go and get you a lot of voices over here, a lot of senior journalists that you will see around over here as well. Their senior journalist Neerja Chaudhary also joins us over here. Neerja, second day. The last time that there was a protest on Saturday, there was an assurance given that action will be taken, but still no action against that said SHO.
I don't understand it. If anybody else had done something like this and allegations of this kind of a nature had come forth, you surely would have had an FIR. So why not when the police is involved, and here there are women journalists involved? I mean, it's horrendous now, the stories coming out of the way the students were treated at the police station, the way the allegations about molestation. So this needed to happen with dispatch. Now, despite the assurances given by the Home Minister this morning, why is the delay? We can't understand.
All that they are saying is that a vigilance inquiry has been ordered, but that's a policeman interrogating another policeman, and our police sources have just told us that they say that there is no video evidence to prove that this lady was molested.
Well, you file the FIR, you take action, given the gravity, enormity of what has happened, because these are journalists doing their legitimate duty. They were not upstarts, they were not doing beating up, they were not doing halla gulla. The journalists were doing their legitimate duty.
But of course, we try and get in more and more people to speak to us. There are a lot of journalists who are on. Ravindra Baba, this is probably one of those very, very rare and very sad occasion that we have to be out on the streets for. No action by the Delhi police.
Absolutely, we have been waiting for it more than 48 hours. I don't think it takes so much time to actually investigate a case in the capital of the country in Delhi. And that too in a police station which is like central. So that is the situation. There has been like a delay in investigation. It's just trying to delay it further by saying that vigilance report will come. Only then we'll take action. But let's see, after meeting the Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh today, maybe some action will be taken in the near future.
So there you are. The peaceful protests continue. And what is very significant, Krishna, our viewers must see this, that these journalists over here have put their cameras down.
कोई फाइट मत दो.
Basically pen down strike. This is the way in which they are protesting right now. They want to demand action. Action should really follow as far as this entire issue is concerned. Remember, it's a very, very grave charge. It's a woman whose modesty has been outraged on the streets in Delhi, and that too by the Delhi police. And the evidence is quite good enough for the others to see. So that's the reason you can see so many journalists united, standing here in solidarity.
Payal Mehta there, joining us live from those journalist protests that are continuing over the assault and molestation of journalists trying to cover the JNU students' protests in the national capital. Now the matter is at Home Minister Rajnath Singh's doorstep. Thank you, Payal, for joining us with that live update.